Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Eve Echoes. Tonight on the show, we're going to go through the entire AMA session, manage to capture it through screens, shots. The AMA session was held in the morning of 10 October, around 3 a.m. UTC, which was pretty bad in terms of my presence there. I was asleep like a log. So we're going to go through all the questions and answers. We'll probably skip the ones that are not relevant, and we'll focus mainly on the ones that do interest us. And there's quite some interesting stuff here. I hope you guys will enjoy it. It will take a long time to finish. Hopefully we'll try to just to stick with the important ones. But in any case, if you like what we're doing here, please throw in a like and a subscribe. And if you really want to help keep this channel alive, there's a YouTube channel membership link in the description. You can donate something as small as $2, and it'll help me very, very much. So let's get on with the AMA. First one, will balance changes be documented, blah blah blah, and implement when if any face deadline unsure, whatever. Nope. What weapons are being nerfed and what weapons are being buffed? Okay, nerfed weapons: small missiles, mid-rapid missiles. Buffed: small mid-blast railguns, mid-autocannons, mid-missile torpedoes, and large rapid missile torpedoes. This is interesting. So we'll be seeing some nerfs of the medium rapid missile, which we can very well state that has been the power horse of PvP. In the current meta. Plans on adding bookmarks, mining drones soon. Bookmarks are in the plan, but no plans for mining drones recently, which is going to suck, most specifically on the bookmarks, because you can only use the bookmarks and, you know, to circumvent gate camps, which now we will be seeing using warp interdiction bubbles. We'll get there soon. Well, interdiction ships and spheres come on the 13th. Note, they will come late October, meaning on the massive update on the October 13th, we will not be seeing the interdiction ships and interdiction warp bubbles being in the game. Moving on to the next, what counterplay are planning to add to balance out gate camps in addition to warp bubbles? Eve typically addresses these through a number of features such as additional data on the map, bookmarks. So we've talked about data on the map, you know, with stuff that's missing from the map in Eve. Echoes, the filters, and the last spotted ships and all that. Relatively accessible interceptors, none of which exist in Echoes right now. We already have a voice system function. Yeah, right. And the bookmarks is on the way, but not soon. The bubble can only be used in nullsec. We have protected the players in low sec, also added many danger tips. Yeah, those are not going to help for people actually living in nullsec, because to circumvent bubbles, you'll actually need a bookmark system, or yeah, basically bookmark system to be able to circumvent bubbles. But as far as I know, there will be no anchorable bubble structures that you can just deploy and drop there to create drag bubbles. So most likely people are just going to camp gates, and once somebody has jumped, they'll activate the bubble, which will last for 120 seconds. Now, if they don't launch bubbles consistently or constantly, you'll be able to warp to a camped gate, no problem, without getting being caught by the warp bubble itself and landing on its edge and basically rendering you a turkey shoot. Okay, so will Marauders come into the game? Yes, but not in the near future. We're focusing more on gameplay with the next 6 months. So Marauders in EVE Online, the Tech 2 variants of battleships, and they're like the Marauders, in my opinion, are already in the game with the striker battleships. They have siege. The siege function that you can enable, and they're basically behaving like Marauders. I'm not entirely sure what this question was about. Neither I'm sure about what the answer was about. Next one, will the new module Warp Scramblers have an effect on these really fast storyline elite pirate ships? So we know that the pirates are the same as players in EVE Online. We want them to be more like the players in the future. What is the formula of finding condensed? So yeah, warp scramblers will. If you don't know, warp scramblers are going to be introduced in the game, and these will actually cut the micro warp drive and disable it. But they will have like a smaller range than the warp disruptors, which will be at 24 kilometers. The scramblers will be probably beneath 10 kilometers, forcing players to actually be close range, and of course, in turn, allowing them to get webbed and scrammed. Well, at the expense of being a tackle. So once you go into scram rage, you're basically allowing yourself to get scrammed and webbed yourself, and you'll be an easy target for anyone else on the battlefield. That's pretty much the way it goes. But using this in PvE, I'm not sure exactly you'd want to activate warp scramblers on the elite NPCs, because as I mentioned in my previous one of my previous videos in tanking, or actually dealing with elite ships with micro warp drive ability, you actually don't want to scram them because their speed is so big they're actually messing up their own tracking, and once they are near you, they're basically outputting 0 DPS on you. Their speed exceeds the tracking on the weapons that the NPC has. So don't scram them. Use this to your advantage. What is the formula for finding condensed ore? There are currently no tricks and formulas to find natural condensed ore. Is it reasonable to request at the loading screen, which is white? Nope, not interesting. Mining boosters for low slots? I'm afraid not. We want to keep all modules in high, mid, low slots activatable, and leave the passive ones to rigs. So they want in high, mid, low slots to be active. So we'll probably does this imply that this answer implies that we'll be seeing mining rigs? I don't know. It could be. Will mining drones ever be a thing? And number 2, when will exploration be added? Number 1, no plans for mining drones recently, and a version after sovereignty, but that is no specific date, so we will be seeing exploration soon. That is something that I'm looking forward to. We'll probably see like the relic and the data analyzers items added into the game, and also the archaeology and the hacking skills, in order to, I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see if we will have the minigames that are in EVE Online, like the ones you have to find the nodes and open up, to be able to open up the containers containing the loot. Rapid missile launchers are disproportionately popular, expensive, and effective as targets of any size, and it plans to balance rapid missiles. Any rebalance of faction frigate ships we should be aware of. Number 1, rapid missile launchers are proportionate. We already have a plan on it, so yeah, it was answered a question in a previous question. They'll get some of them will get some nerfs, some of them will get some buffs. And regarding the faction frigates, we may have a few adjustments, but nothing decided yet. Is Silent Alliance the best alliance? Nice reply from NetEase Cloud there. Why are they releasing scramblers when we still don't have D-scan or defense against gate camping? Excellent question. So yeah, aside from the bookmark system, D-scan is very good because you'd be able to warp to a planet that is near the destination jump gate that you want to jump through, and you'll basically throw a D-scan directed at that jump gate, in order to determine if there's a blob there waiting for you. The fact is that the scramblers are easier to add because we already got similar disruptor, but the scan takes more time. We can't finish it in short term. Scans will be introduced in 2021. Good lord. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait for the scanners. Damn it. In the event that any of the upcoming balance changes after skills or weapons that players have committed significant... Oh, this is one that is interesting. Significant skill points, thus making respecting them with plaques prohibitively expensive. Are there any plans to help players out with some skill points refund, so that they haven't wasted those skill points in the balance of inevitably shifts due to changes? So the question is very relevant. If you've focused your entire skill points training into some specific weapon platform, and it turns out to be in 3 months from now they're going to nerf it really hard. It's going to be poop. Then all your skills are going to be for nothing, and you're basically left with a swollen lip. Which sucks, by the way. And the question actually is very pertinent. Will we get like a refund, like a specific threshold refunded, so we can reinvest those skill points if any of those skills or items affected by those skills get redesigned or changed or buffed or nerfed or whatever? And the answer is, I also want to add these free reset skill point functions, for example, after the balance adjustments, which is very nice. In CCGs, I've played the Elder Scrolls Legends. Every time a card, it's across cards in card games. If any card is, even in Magic the Gathering, I think, if a card gets nerfed or whatever, you get a refund consisting in the cost of that card, so you can, I don't know, you can basically craft it again, or just reorientate yourself to other cards. Same should go here, but you know we don't have enough time to implement this function because the balance adjustments will release in a few weeks. I must say sorry for you, so suck it. We will also do this function in the future. I have submitted the work order on it, so we'll probably have this function, but not on this balance change. We will probably see it, I don't know, probably in 2021. We have no idea. But the fact is that they are considering this is actually good, because it will help a lot. This balance change, which will come in October, is not going to be the only balance change that will ever be in Eve Echoes. There's going to be loads of balance changes, loads of stuff, because items are still to be introduced in the game, and once those hit, or other ships get introduced into the game, there's going to be balance changes all over the place. So this is something that we should have assurance for, and given the fact that they say they have it in their scope or in their view, let's hope they actually do it soon, because it'll really help us out. When we will get jammers, they will come in late October's. Jammers are like in ECM? Jams. Okay, we don't know what jams means. Will the new update will fix the bug? Maybe not a bug. Mining. Okay, yeah. This is the exploit that we've been propagating through the internet, people. So the guy's asking if somebody's going to fix that exploit when someone just slaps on some cloaky ships inside the base, or a base anomaly inside the belts, and they're forcing them to not despawn anymore and not respawn new ones, and basically killing off the system. Well, guess what? It's not a bug. There is no adjustment for this in this update. It's not a bug, people. You know what you must do. You must go and camp the hell out of everything using stealthy ships. Propagate, go forth and procreate or fornicate or whatever. Slap as many cloaky ships in there, as many as you can, and you'll basically probably cause more mayhem and actually raise this problem even higher, so maybe it becomes visible as an imminent problem, and how entire alliances can be shut down using this very neat exploit. When will fleet sizes be increased in the Sovereignty version if no accident happens? By accident, I mean accidentally deleting some code. I don't know. That's not how I work. I'm a software engineer, and there's actually no accident that can happen. You can always Control Z and undo what you have done, or you can just undo your changes. Accidents, by meaning they probably insert a bug that is breaking the game. This might be considered. Moving on, what are you guys doing to fight against mining bot corporations? We've got monitoring scripts, detectors, bot behaviors. I don't know, but apparently PI bots, they're hard to detect, so not entirely sure how the monitoring scripts work. I'm definitely hunting in the same system for the past 2 weeks. The same corporation, I've reported every one of them, the same corporation that is full of bots, and they're actively mining. You can clearly see that their bots have covered it in a PvP video with the Talvar, and honestly, I thought I ran them to the ground. Well, they're mining 24/7. I've barely scratched the surface of the iceberg. Any ship that I'm blowing up, they can just replenish, no problem. Mining 24/7, probably an account being 24/7 or multiple accounts in the same corporation being 24/7 should be included in that script, and you should be able to detect those. Like, no one can play 13 days in a row without dying, for crying out loud. That's not normal. Details on dynamic pirate fleets. One pirate fleet with the random ships and the random modules. We want the pirates becoming more likely to human. It's a step on the whole project. So what they're trying to do here is what CCP did in the Apocrypha expansion when they introduced sleepers. Like, you know, the sleepers switched targets a lot. They behaved like an advanced AI, which is kind of neat, and posed a lot of problems for all those PvE people doing PvE. Guess what? And after that, I think some years later, they actually introduced whatever the sleepers had to the rest of the NPCs in known space. And then all the other pirate factions, you switch drones, switch targets. If I don't like you, you've got some help on the way. Oh, somebody just came and tried to help. Oh, we're going to switch target, and blah, goodbye. So it's nice that they're going to be introducing this. One problem that I see is for us pirates, when we try to tackle some PvE guy sitting in low-sec, null-sec, it's going to be bad. If you find yourself being the switched target for the entire blob of the NPCs, and you'll get webbed, scrammed, and whatever. Your basic pirate operations will be diminished because NPCs interference. I don't know, but it's a nice addition. Is there any asset safety like in EVE Online? There are plans to allow players to improve the security of corp hangars. This I don't understand, because from what I know, they actually said they introduced asset safety. Like when the Citadel blows up and your stuff gets teleported or some stuff drops. I'm not entirely sure what the answer was here. Plans to allow players to improve security of the corp hangar. I don't think the question was understood, and I don't think the answer is according to the question. Moving on. Is Joseph taking a nap? Okay, moving on. This was one side of the EMA ending. What tech level would the interdictors be? Interdictors at tech level 6 and tech level 9 have interdictors tech level 8 and tech level 10. 16 ships in total. Okay, nice. So the 16 ships, that's more content for industry people to start gathering materials and to start producing once they hit the shelves. But are there any plans to improve contracts? Not being able to split stacks, fleet members, contract makes splitting loot from group activities a big painful time sink. Possible to scoop abandoned drones for space. Actually, I haven't seen any abandoned drones in space as of yet. If you fly and you're attacking with the drones and whatever, and you go boom, the drones are teleported inside the ship, and there's a calculation made if some of the drones survived or some of the drones got blown up, just like in any other modules. So that's how you end up with drones in the wreck itself. They're not going to sit idly in space like in EVE Online. So the answer is pretty pertinent. Lots of plans on it. The programmer is in charge of skill system contact. Okay, this is the plans for the contract. Disclose the inside. I don't think we have abandoned drones now. I really don't know how to desert them. They're your friends. Why will you desert them? Is there any additional skills or features coming to trade with allow us to play buy orders from different systems? And is there any intention to eliminate audits? There are currently no skills to do that. Yep. And no audits for characters on the same account. Any word on when we will get Mordor's Legion ships. It's in plan. A new type of encounters is under considering, including loyalty points exchanged may come in next year. They're going to have a bit weird trouble with all the... there's three factions that I'm worried about. There's the Sisters of Eve, but unfortunately Sisters of Eve are kind of useless on the scanning abilities because we all have no scanners until 2021, as someone mentioned. The Mordor's Legion, they're going to pretty much fuck up the entire balance of the game when they'll be introduced, not to mention the Yangjung ships, which are... the prototype versions have been nerfed a lot, but the actual Yangjung ships, non-prototype version, may still be broken. We will see. I guess we will see. But can you implement a way for people in the system to know when the cosmic anomaly basis non-detect function may add in the sovereignty system? So this basically will give people with sovereignty in that system more intel if somebody tries to destroy the base and basically thwart their farming operations, which is a pretty nice addition altogether. And yeah, it should help, because we all know if you want to cripple somebody, you either do the exploit in putting cloaking ships inside bases in an asteroid belt, or you just go and destroy the base and leave. What changes will be made to drone UI to make them viable in PvP? Not being able to replace a destroyed drone during PvP because a weapons time is unfairly crippling, that's a bug, and we will fix it within 1 month. We'll be able to swap drones for the bait by dragging and dropping. An overview similar to how we recall drones instead of having to use menus and fitting screens. Yeah, because if you open a fitting screen, you're basically cramping up your entire screen. Your entire phone screen is going to be occupied by the fitting screen and the drone fitting thingy. And you're basically taking damage or unaware of where the hell you're going into space while you do that. So it's going to be nice to have something of a feature like this. Our UI designer is studying on it and dragging it on one of our plans, changing the ammo, but they will not be in the near future. Bummer. We'll get clear display of drone EHP shields. Oh, this is something that I'm interested in, because it's really hard to do drone management because you have no idea if your drone is about to die or not. Currently, the NPCs are not targeting drones, but probably once those NPC AIs will get improved, as in one of the previous questions and answers, they're probably going to switch attacking drones, which is going to be crappy at best. Not being able to monitor your drones in order to recall it, or recall them if they're being targeted, it will just result in a lot of drones biting the dust, and will basically raise the drone costs even more, because then they're pretty expensive. The price has dropped considerably, but it's still pretty expensive, at least for a new player, for example. Just sticking with civilian drones is what the fuck. Okay. Will drones be seeded? We will improve it. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Will drones be seeded into loot drops from pirates in either normalies or scout and inquisitive variants that are prohibitively expensive because of scarcity, more so than any other weapon? Not really. There's other weapons that are expensive as well, but just adding them to loot box, or like in Rex or loot, I don't know, it might work, but it may run down the actual benefit of people actually building drones. Why? Because there's quite a lot of a process running there. There's you got to mine for the materials from asteroid belts and from planets, of course, and you have to manufacture them. And not to mention the blueprints for the drones that drop in Inquisitor and Scouts have a decent amount of runs on them, and I have no idea if introducing those actually makes the builder's job pretty much useless. That's going to suck. Okay, in November we will introduce the In November, we will introduce the storyline drones with the encounter rewards. Okay, will faction drones be seeded into loot drops as well? Drones are the only weapon variant without a faction option. Again, crippling drone boats as viable in PvP. Well, as I mentioned in the prophecy video, if you go solo PvP with the drone boat, you're gonna suck it because people would target your drones and you'll be left without weapons. And considering the ongoing bug, after your drone is destroyed, having a weapons timer and you're unable to launch another drone in space, it sucks. But if you're in a gang or a small fleet or even a big fleet, having swarms of drones is actually amazing. In terms of PvP, you can melt anything, and people won't even focus your drones because they're trying to focus the ships, and the drones are basically going around rampant, destroying everything in their path. Faction ones are not in the near future. We had faction drones in the open beta, but for some reason they got removed. Probably not balance. But any plans to add an extra low slot to assault frigates? There are plans to add more special modules and rigs. This does not answer the question, mate. But not just for assault frigates. So they're basically promising more modules and stuff, but the question to the answer to the question, will an extra low slot to assault frigate be added? You know, to have some more maneuverability space in terms of fitting and stuff and experimentation. Not answered. So this question basically got ignored. Will this update fix the bug where Nemesis ships cannot be put in the corp hangar? This is an interesting bug. Thanks for reporting bugs. We'll fix it. Tradable items should be able to put in corp hangar. Bot corporations are people who safe harbor those bots, like in Venal region. Why are you not acting in the reports? 90 bots in a system and no action taken. Yes, this is my case as well. I've been reporting that system constantly for a corporation using bots, like swarms of bots clearing out belts, and nothing happened. I just go there daily and waste like 30-40 ventures. I just sit in a belt and they just keep coming and they just keep dying, and I need to sleep, so I go to bed and come back the next day and just repeat the process. I haven't seen a single one of them get banned, or at least I'm still seeing them in space, and there's a lot of them. It's just like the same name with indicator 1, 2, A, B. The fuck? We are banning bots. Lots of bots now. If you have reported bots without any actions or striking bots, seem to have not enough evidence. Those are clearly bots. If the same player comes back within the time span of 20 minutes 5 times in a venture, mining the same asteroid belt, what sort of evidence do you need, mate? That's a bot. Moving on. Are you keeping high-sec attack free? Yep, this is going to remain as that. What info do you have to share on the 2 new ships? Ship types. Also, like, he's probably referring to the interdictor destroyers and cruisers. Interdictors, T6 and T9. We've already answered this question. Moving on. Are you going to add Mordus Legion and Sisters of Eve mobs anytime soon? Can we unlock these faction ships as well? Not in the near future. We haven't decided a way to drop their materials, and we still don't have scans which Sisters of Eve specialize. Duh. Any plans for an Alliance Corporation Killboard Tracker? Any plans for better organization in personal hangars? You know, asking for us hoarders, investors, collectors. Corp Killboard is on the way, but the Alliance won't come. That's half decent. The boxes already exist, but we need a renamed box function. I'm guessing that's for the hangars. You know what? We really need more corporation hangars. 4 is not enough, mate. 4 is not enough. Why is there no optimal range rigs? I believe having only follow-up rigs for weapon system disproportionately favors cannons, drones, and missiles. Correct. Is there a reason why there are no optimal range rigs for turrets? A corp wallet has only 1 available tab. Is there any plans to increase the number of corporate wallet tabs? And increasing the number of corporate wallet tabs, could there also be 1 more to roles associated with them specifically? There are plans to add weapon range and more types of rigs. No plans for the corp wallet tab. Okay, boomer. Weapon range rigs and more types of rigs. This might be useful. This might be interesting. But there's no specific information here. There's just going to be more rigs. We don't know if the question will be answered when more rigs will be introduced. Will the drones be fixed so you can switch out drones in PvP fights? Yeah, we already know about this. Can switch drones will be fixed. What is your plan, if any? Oh, this is continued on another screenshot. What is your plan, if any, to handle the massive damage caused to the player economy by duping? Duping? I haven't seen people duping. If there are people who have managed to successfully dupe, well, if you get caught, you're going to get banned anyway. But if you do have a known mechanism, please share it with me, because I might do a video on it to raise awareness. We've received several feedback about duping. None of them is proved, so I don't think there's duping in the game, but as Lance mentioned, mostly it's UI bugs and desync bugs, so you're probably seeing a doubled item because you have a poor connection. That might be the case. Are you planning to nerf or add drawbacks to warp core stabilizers and rigs? Is there a plan to add corp hangers ledges? There's no plan to. In recent update, bubbles will be launched first, so no nerfs or drawbacks to warp core stabbers and rigs. There are plans, but not soon in terms of corp hanger ledges. Well, that's shitty. Why? Because currently anyone can steal from anywhere. They'll not be trackable, if I'm not mistaken. We've got the second question. What is the development vision for EVE? Oh, this is one interesting. EVE echoes in the next 3, 6, 12 months, not raw plan changes. What do you see the game going fundamentally when certain changes are implemented? There are people on both sides agreeing, disagreeing. Gate counts bubbles versus AFK pilots. Basically the hardcore players versus casual players conundrum. Some people want EVE echoes to become EVE Online on a small screen, while others say mobile devices cannot and should not mirror this experience. I would agree with the latter part, because, you know, not everyone and not every human being has 6 phones to do all sorts of stuff and run 5 accounts in parallel. We all have just one phone, and when we play, if someone calls us or sends us like an important message, we have to get out of the game, which sucks, because if we're PvPing, you probably need to go in night mode or in do not disturb mode, so you will not be disturbed. But most phones with do not disturb, especially the iPhone, if you call 2 times in a row, you still get the call. The first time it rings once and you get disconnected, while the second one goes through and you actually get kicked out of the game, and you get like the call and you need to take the call. A split second, you're dead in game. Guess what? EVE echoes will become more accessible to mobile devices. Pretty fuzzy answer there. Is it going to be more casual oriented, or will it try to please both sides? We don't know. Sovereignty will be the one most important part of EVE echoes. More functions, more gameplay, more personalization content. EVE echoes wants to have more attraction to new players, all kinds of players. We want EVE echoes to be more comprehensive. This might give the impression, or it actually might tend your logic to orientate towards the answer that EVE Echoes is trying to orientate towards all kinds of players, especially old players and new players, casual players alike. There's no mention about casual players, but we can deduce about the comprehensiveness, attraction to new players, personalization in content. Yeah, EVE Echoes is different than EVE Online, period. It's a different game and should be viewed as such. Let's get over. CCP company is making many game balances changes in EVE Online PC, such as ore space and mining other things. Are you at NITIS going to follow EVE PC changes, be inspired by them in the future? We and CCP have meetings every 2 weeks. We share our experiences, keep communication ongoing. Interesting. May have been answered already. Can we should expect capital ships to come along in EVE Echoes? Of course, EVE Echoes will have capital ships, but still discussing on the mechanism on capital. Progress 0%. So we won't have capitals anytime soon. anytime soon, like probably not even next year. What is the plan with nullsec PI and alphas, specifically here on 13 concerning 4 omegas and being tier 6? So this was just a confirmation that I tried to enforce in the comment section, because after I did the video, the developers actually clarified some more aspects of the restriction. So omega counts will have no restriction whatsoever in terms of PI. When will corporations get more titles? To be designed, so nothing yet. Will weapon disruptors listed on Arbitrator be added to the game soon? Yep, we'll see some more E-War modules being added to the game. When will Orcas and Poise be added back to the game? What future fun do you have in plans for miners? They will be available with command modules. Command modules. What? So you won't have the Orca, but you will have the command modules that you will be fitting on like a battle cruiser and give out mining bonuses. Yeah, but the Orca had a specific role in mining, like gathering the mining stuff and having a giant ore hold, stuff like that. I don't know. Some plans of compressed ores. I'll get to that soon because somebody detailed the plan better. What tier interdiction ships? So we already seen that. Oh, this is one. What is the decay timer on spheres? 120 seconds. So once a warp bubble interdiction sphere being launched will stay in space for 120 seconds, after which it will go boop. Do Hictors, which is heavy interdictors, use fuel from cargo hold? Yes, they need fuel. Warp stabilizers are supposed to be balanced as such that your signature radius is debuffed and easier to target. This is going to be more balanced in the future. What? No, mate. Warp stabilizers had already a deficit, causing you to have a crappy signature. A crappy scanner resolution, meaning you cannot target stuff as fast as normal. So 50% increase in targeting time, which is kind of a big disadvantage, you know. There's nothing to do here. How do you plan to unpatching and alternate missile launchers independent of adding the ammo reload system? I ask, as adding ammo reload will likely balance missile launchers where they should be. Any further change might nerf them too much. When without ammo, we will balance them. When ammo releases, we will balance them with ammo releases. Pretty straightforward answer. So they'll balance these right now as they're being used. Once the ammo will be introduced, they're going to balance them used on the ammo usage. What is the plan with nullsec PI and alpha specifically? Yeah, again, a refresher mega characters not restricted. There are dozens of corp management tools in the game, blatantly lacking, making it a struggle to perform the most basics of tasks. When can we expect the first round of updates to that? We're busy in the sovereignty, so yeah, they don't have many resources. You could send to Mellows, we need more advisors. In terms of management tools mechanics, can we ever expect to see relaxing of the audit system? It's a long wait. Your audit system is detecting bots in RMT. If relaxing will face badly result. Makes sense. Also want more rules to relax the audit, but we are considering on the dependable corps first. Corp list, like if you have like a corporation and you want to whitelist it as being legit and not making weird crap, they will be abolished of the audit, or at least the auditing mechanism, but apparently they're still working on that, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, the auditing is there to prevent people from RMTing and botting. All the other weapons except decomposers got covered in rig safes. Any chance rig safes can get decomposer rigs added to them? We may wait for the Yangjung extension Yangjung extension version. This sounds like an expansion with the Yangjung, so probably when the Yangjung ships will be introduced altogether. Ooh, can't wait for that. Higgs anchor currently has nothing but downsides and work the same as the way it does in even line. It is increasing inertia modifier, which should be decreasing inertia modifier. When will this be fixed? Tracking computers currently stacking without penalty. Creating PvP strategies that are very difficult to counter. When will this be fixed? Strip miners currently mining less than advertised. Module on description due to missing a tick at the end of every cycle. When will this be fixed? I will update the tips on Higgs anchor. There is currently no adjustment plan for tracking computers. Weird. Strip miners will collect 20 times per cycle. And the last tip is delayed. We'll check whether there is a bug. Thank you. Any estimated time when we get a public API similar to ESI from EVE Online? It plans mining ledgers to track mining operations efficiency. Thanks for players who are waiting API to help our game. However, in the near future we'll have no plan for real-time API due to the limit of human resources, but we will share some log data and community timelessly at this stage. Well, shit. We're going to introduce fleet looting log, and we'll study on combat log mining log as well. As to code mining ledger, I'll have this question to end emails. How significant are the upcoming balance changes? Are you thinking of minor adjustments? Any 1.5 range, 5% range of sweeping chances, changes in excess of 10-20%. Will this upcoming balance patch be indicative of future updates? Related question: since you plan on introducing respec soon, do you plan on making bigger combat changes in order to shake up the meta, or will you choose the philosophy of smaller changes? The changes in 5 to 10-20%. We will have a test on it or a list on it, then make the decision. Rift assault when? To be discussed. Yeah, it's something that the Captain Benzi also pointed out, that we have no idea why the Breacher was picked for the assault frigates, because we know in EVE Online the Rifter is the main ship for assault frigate. We got the Wolf and we've got the, I don't know what the hell was that name, the other ship. Basically 2 assault frigates. And they're both on the Rifter hull. Now we just have an assault frigate that's based on Breacher hull. Pretty okay. It behaves correctly. It does what it's supposed to do as an assault frigate, and you can pull off some pretty interesting stuff with it. But people are really nostalgic about the Rifter. Our heavy interceptors, or interdictors, mentioned in the announcement to destroyers. Any plans to increase the number of destroyers available? 630 separate frigates, 56 cruisers, only 36 destroyers in my kingdom for viable cannon-based destroyer between tiers 5 and 10. Heavy interceptors are cruisers. Yeah, somebody messed up the wording here. When they say interceptors, they're actually meaning interdictors. Any plans on fixing delivery prompt so we can deliver cargo when I hit confirm? Any plans on improving delivery UI and add log for cop hanger withdrawals? Added fixed after 10.14. Okay, maintenance. Ooh, fixing delivery prompt. It will be fixed after 14 of October. Improving delivery UI, but just in a small scale, for example, sort by distance, no plan for large iteration. Corp hanger withdrawals plan, we have plan on it, but may be different from EVE Online. Sounds fair enough. As developer, what's your favorite ship to fly? What would be the changed balance of lasers? Will the EVE Echo skills expand to as many as there are in the EVE Online? Any plans of an official market API? Retriever. That's the favorite ship a dev wants to fly. Lasers will be reinforced in tracking. Will they be buffed? Because they're pretty good on tracking, if I'm not mistaken. The skill will be expanded when this new system is released. Okay, makes sense. So with every new modules and stuff, you probably expect a new skill to be hitting the shelves as well. Makes sense. Nice idea. We'll begin to develop the API. The first one may be the kill mail. So not the market API, but the kill mails, which is nice because we can then develop on having kill boards. Yep, kill boards. When will the ammunition system be added? Sad story, although we discussed it on a lot since a long time ago, it's not in our plan in the next 6 months. Sad face. So we won't have any ammunition. We can still benefit from those basically absent reload times. Pretty awesome, if you ask me. Moving on, will the warp disruptor field generator or the Hictor itself have a modal setting that allows switching between fields at an infinite point, targeted modes of operation? It will be later, not the first version. Yep. Will warp disruption field generators consume fuel? If not, what do they consume? They will be consuming fuel. Will interdiction's field launchers consume fuel? If not, is there ammo of some equivalent that limits how many bubbles can be created? Oh, they eat fuel. So because there's no ammo in the game, you will have the interdiction probe launcher on the small, on the light interdictors like destroyers, but you'll not have any ammo like in the interdiction bubbles. But you'll need to have fuel in your cargo hold, because every time you create said warp bubble, some fuel is going to be eaten up from your cargo hold. Will warp disruption field generators be available as NPCs purchased BPs, as item drops, or as BP drops? If so, which ones? Blueprint drops. Warp disruption field generators will be found as blueprint drops. This is good. Will warp scramblers or interdiction field launchers be available as NPCs, drops, blah blah blah, blueprint drops as well. Warp scramblers as well, would they be available item drops? Will bombers get bombs? If so, when? Future plan. What is the plan to add high slots to destroyers? No plans. What is the plan to fix drones randomly dropping target? It will be updated if it is fixed. Okay, drones randomly dropping. Oh, I think I know about it. Yeah. You have 4 enemies locked in. You engage drones with one target. Target is dead, and drones do not move on to the next target, which is stupid. Is there a plan for co-op ensuring of ships the way EVE Online did? There's a plan, but not the same. Will you add more co-op hangars? Not now. Yeah, suck it. So, unfortunately, we are stuck with the 4 co-op hangars. Having just 4 is just hurting us a lot. Will you add command bus modules? Will be later. So, there's no command bonus modules for now. Higgs anchor rig inertia penalty bug or feature should be bonus right feature about the inertia penalty. Feature? Micro warp drive frigates and rapid missiles. Are there any plans to make frigates with 150 signature radius moving at 3 kilometers speed with Mmorpg to receive a 1/20th of damage from missile with 170 explosion velocity? And that's so much math that disarm my head explodes. The missile calculation formula would not be changed except for bug fixes. Decent answer, but an interesting question. We'll have to do some math on those, because I'm really interested in how the missiles work here. Any plans to add movement, vector, display, and visual grid like one in the beta? It will be added later. Yeah, we had it in the beta, and it was removed because the UI received a redesign before launch. There are reports mining bots join open player co-ops. This is for the more bots in the co-op. We'll try the best to ban the bots. Yeah. 1 medium rapid missile is OP, medium missile is weak. DPS medium rapid missile should get nerfed. The explosion velocity and explosion radius medium missiles need buff. At least medium missiles should deal enough damage to cruisers targets. Yeah, they will be nerfed. Confirmed. Battle cruisers are fragile, lack of capacity. Most battle cruisers have less capacitors than some cruisers. Most battle cruisers are less tanky than the Kalara Navy issue or Stab and PvE. Capacitor calculation is based on rules. Slot number, tonnage, mega metal level, and so on will make an influence on it. You could tell me the detail of unbalance. I may check if any polish on the rules. 3 destroyer speed, 1 some buff. Destroyers are so slow they can't chase most of cruisers. Please tell more details. Yep, and this is suckiest because, for example, a destroyer with a micro warp drive, a small micro warp drive fitted, has less speed than a cruiser with a medium micro warp drive fitted. What the hell, mate? This is a very good question. Please tell more details. You need more details? This is pretty obvious. The current setup is bad. Number 4. We will have 1 million free reset in 1 week, said by Augustus. Does this mean every week or just 1 week? I mean, when balance adjustments, there will be 1 million free reset, lasts for 1 week adjustment. But now, but November 10 won't have because we don't have enough time to implement. Maybe future. Lasers need buff. Okay. Why any size of shield field need the same PG? Only one. We didn't add Mmorpg for the shield field ships. I tried to do that and caused some issues, so I gave up. LOL. Are there any plans of toughening stations to make them less killable, adding in the larger, tougher stations build? No plan on attackability. Corp stations will be harder, probably harder to destroy. When are you planning on adding in an alliance chat? Alliance chat is in the last step. If successful, will come out on October 28. Fleet logistics and bubbles versus links. Shield field modules are currently outperforming armor link modules to an embarrassing degree in larger engagements. Increasing the fleet capacity will help armor links, but not enough to compete. Are you considering changes to these modules? If so, what direction? Players just use those two modules for a short time, so we will not adjust them this time because we haven't collected enough info. Log usually rate output market price, blah blah blah, to lead our balancing direction. Before our next balancing, we'll have another AMA on it. Okay, didn't answer much, just the fact that we're gonna handle this soon when we will be handling this. Shield resistances and boosts are more powerful than the armor module equivalent today. Why? In Evil Eye, I thought it was because Shield went mid-slot and competed with evil modules like Warp Scramble, whereas armor was in low, but in Echoes they're both low slot modules. This is a problem that I pointed out before, and noticed that every tank module and prop module and whatever other module are just cramped up in the low slots, and there's little maneuvering in terms of experimentation and variation on fits, so every ship basically has the same crappy fit. Shield modules are characterized by more power consumption and faster recovery. How is warp balance? Not now. Bubbles will be launched first. This does not answer with the shield versus the armor links. I don't know. Do we have something more? Will courier contracts be a thing? If so, when? Courier contracts may not come. So, courier. We already have the interstellar delivery. That's the contract, the courier contract. I don't know. Player corpses, not now. I'm so upset because I want my corpse collection. I have no friends in my cargo hold. I'm very sad. I'm very, very, very sad. Can there be a system for corporations and alliances to issue their own medals? Need to give my people recognition inside the game for their efforts. This feature will be provided in a limited way, such as the recent events. Any plans on implement reverse engineering on things other than ship blueprints? Only have ideas, but not the decision. Anything be changed about cloaked player sitting in base anomalies, forcing it to ever rank up again? The same exploit being brought up twice. No plans. As someone mentioned before, this is not a bug. It's fucked up. Are the plans to add the ability to condense or compress ore in certain stations such as Evil Line? Plan after sovereignty. When will Amatar and Khanid join back in the safety of Concord, and we see them anchoring some gate station guns in Derelict and Khanid? Or are the now both considered part faction Derelict and Khanid become NPC nullsec? Will there be small, medium, large rigs to make it less expensive to rig cheap small frigates? We will fix the sentry guns in Khanid recently, and 2, I'm afraid not. Okay, I understand bubbles will kind of help with warps, but this game is lacking in the 1v1, 1v2 PvP area. I really think there needs to be a nerf to warp stab rigs and low slots. The warp scramblers will have more warp disruption points. How do you feel about the state drones in PvE? Is the plan to leave them alone for a while, or should we expect changes in the future? Hoping to plan our future skills training. They will have more content in the future, but not soon. So drones just sit in place and do the thing. When command bus modules, an update after sovereignty. How soon for weapon disruptor? Late October. Will countermeasures such as ECCM be implemented at the same time as the E1 modules like ECM? No, ECCM is later. No, period. ECCM is later than ECM. When does a cooperation contract get added? On the plan, but the work orders have been delayed for several times. When will all ECM be brought into the game? ECM will not be introduced in the near future. Will serve work with the same with TCU units, territorial claim units. In EVE Online, you get to put your territorial claim unit inside a system, and when that gets online, the sovereignty on the system is basically yours. There will be no TCU in the game. No individual TCU. Corp Citadel has the function of TCU. So does that mean that we need to basically construct a Corp Citadel in every system? In every yeah, because that's gonna mess up like the effort of keeping such a structure alive. Not to mention 10 in 10 systems. That's not how it's supposed to be. Maybe we'll have this this citadel, this player base once online. Maybe it will protect all the systems like across 2 light years. I don't know. It's going to suck, but I don't know. Tech 4 blueprints available to craft. Which level? Also, will drones be getting any changes in the short future? The feature might be extended in November 10th. More changes will come later, so prepare for a drone update in regards to what we get. When we'll see the east open up, meaning those regions of drones in the top east corner of the map, to be designed. Where we'll get faction strip miners. We'll launch together with LP sword. D-scan bookmark for bubble counters coming. The plans, D-scan will be later than bookmark right now, but at least they won't be soon. So no bookmarks for us. I've submitted well over 100 suggestions, blah blah blah. Yep, they're not in the trash, they're just prioritizing whatever needs to be in the game fast. When will faction strip miners be released? The extra yield will help a lot. Any chance of allowing strip miners to target asteroids? Okay, there are plans. Maybe it will be released with the script and together with the LP store. So we're going to see an LP store. It's going to be interesting to see what exactly we can buy and how do you get the points. What's the warp disruption strength of the upcoming warp scramblers? Currently you need 3 to use mid slots. Doesn't seem fair to use 3 mids against another ship of the low. The double strength with the warp disruptor. Yeah, so that's the only mechanism that we'll have. Present resistances of pirates are the same as players. You could browse the ship tree. Yeah, so just do damage based on what they're tanking, not on like some fictional information. How are the missiles and drones going to be changed? Some drones seem most OP, followed by rapids. You're going to buff slow missiles. Will railguns get buffed, and when? They're underpowered at the moment. Some railguns got buffed. Will get buffed, sorry. How is the respec going to work, and what was about 1 million per week? That answer was unclear. Finally, someone. When is respec becoming available? Thank you for supporting our designers. The team will focus on the new version. It's going to be focused on new version developing in the next 2 months, and reply to this song may be ignored sometimes. Thank you for understanding. And I think we got them all. This was the AMA. What do you think? Which one seems pretty weird? Please leave a comment in the comment section and we can debate together on all the stupid stuff or actually good stuff that were mentioned here. As always, thank you guys for watching. A very big shout out to my channel supporters. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.